with all the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. You're watching the BooneTV Buzz, Iowa's most watched high school news show.
Hello Boone High, and welcome to the BooneTV Buzz. I'm Tanner Frost.
And I'm Anna Olson. It is officially spring, which means the spring sports are well underway. Just like an umbrella during April showers, we have you covered.
For our first story, the Boone High Concert Band performed their spring concert this past Monday night.
BooneTV reporter Corbin Waffle has a recap of the concert with an assist from cinematographer Sydney Woodruff.
This past Monday night, the BHS Concert Band held their annual spring concert. Band director Mr. Truckermiller was very pleased with the night's performance.
I thought the concert went smashingly. We played very well, there was a lot of variety, the audience loved it.
I thought it went really good. I thought everybody was playing correctly, and I felt it had a nice swing to it. It was a great concert.
I think it went really well. We've been working really hard for this concert, and we got a lot of fun songs played, and we played them well.
Band members put in hours of preparation for the concert to ensure the audience of a stellar performance.
We practiced a lot, and for the percussion ensembles particularly, we took time out of class and left and went and worked on them.
Mr. Truckermiller was especially fond of the band's performance of Just a Closer Walk with Thee.
I think my favorite piece was Just a Closer Walk with Thee. It's a great way to end a show. It's got a lot of energy. It's beautiful in the beginning. It's got it all.
Despite the excellent performance, many members of the band believe there is always room for improvement. The band hopes to work out the kinks before their next show.
Formality, I feel like we all kind of just were like chilling on the stage and maybe not being super formal.
I'd say having more time to practice will definitely make a difference. I also think we could work on our dynamics, getting louder and softer when the composer says to do so.
For BooneTV Sports, I'm Corbin Waffle.
Last week, Boone High hosted a guest speaker to discuss life experiences and how our choices can impact young people.
BT reporter Ben Wagner has the story on the Drug Awareness Assembly.
Boone High School hosted guest speaker Ray Lozano on Tuesday, March 28th. The center of his message was how drugs and alcohol are bad for the body and not needed to have a good time. Mr. Lozano travels to different schools and events and shares the impact drugs and alcohol have on the lives of young people.
You know, the reason why I go around and I talk about drugs and alcohol is because I want kids to get on the other side of that. What kills me is when kids start doing drugs and alcohol, they lose this amazing thing that's inside them. I've had so many people come up and tell me, oh man, I had this scholarship to this university, or I used to be able to do this amazing thing. Then they start drinking and smoking weed and they lose that amazing thing. So I just want kids to be amazing.
Several BHS staff thought this was a great idea to raise awareness of the risks of drugs and alcohol.
I think kids are faced with these decisions more than we think, and it helps them be prepared for situations they're in and just gives them the education they need to make wise decisions in their lives.
Mr. Lozano encourages young people to abstain from alcohol and drugs because you are only hurting yourself. Boone High students learned from this presentation and look to apply that knowledge.
Ray really gave us a good understanding of what drugs and alcohol can do to your body and how it can really hurt you in the long run.
As Mr. Lozano continues to travel around the country, he hopes to impact other schools like he did here at Boone High. This has been Ben Wagner from BooneTV.
The local police department is a vital aspect of our community, but just like any other profession, law enforcement is always looking for new recruits.
I had the chance to meet up with Boone PD officer Dave Powers and discuss a great opportunity for high school students to learn more about being a police officer. As Boone upperclassmen finalize their decisions on what they want to do after high school, a career in criminal justice has always been popular. As an integral part of the community, the Boone Police Department does its best to involve Boone students and get them interested in their program. The department is offering a week-long 40-hour program for Boone students who are pursuing a career in criminal justice. Officer Powers filled me in on the details of the Youth Academy and why it's useful for students and the department alike.
What it is, it's a 1-week, 40-hour program that the police department puts on in the first week of June, where we invite Boone area students ages 16 through 18, where we let you drive a police car, practice building searches, learn about use of force. We let you go through scenarios where you get to practice some law enforcement skills. We do a tour of the Boone County Sheriff's Office, the jail.
The program can be extremely beneficial to students who are interested in becoming an officer and provides practical hands-on learning.
We actually have had 3 Boone Youth Police Academy graduates who have gone on to become police officers: Cole Hilsebeck, Mauro Gonzalez, and Joe Slight. All of them going through the police academy allowed them to kind of get a feel of what we do, and really, I think, cemented in their minds that this was the career that was the best for them. Any Boone High School students, or actually any students in the Boone County area, age 16 through 18, since you're going to be driving a police car, we just ask that you're 16 years old and have a valid driver's license.
If interested in more information, Officer Powers is available to discuss the details of the academy.
I believe it's important for a couple reasons. Number one, so people can kind of get a look inside of what it actually means to be a police officer, a little bit about some of the things we do, some of the fun things we have to do, some of the things we do that maybe aren't as fun. If someone's perhaps interested in criminal justice or law enforcement, gives them an idea if this is something maybe they would actually be interested in doing.
If interested in contacting Officer Powers about this opportunity, you can email him at dpowers@city.boone.ia.us, or you can pick up one of the many application forms located in the guidance counselors and attendance offices. This has been Tanner Frost from BooneTV.
Mr. Stalin has been teaching at BHS for 4 years and has been making an impact in the Spanish department.
But there's more to him than just being bilingual. BooneTV's Devin Rush has more on Senior Stalin.
Many people know about Mr. Stalin's interest in board games. However, you may not have known that he runs a semi-successful podcast all about them.
I started podcasting as a result of how much I like to talk about board games. One night at one of our game nights, I asked a bunch of friends that were playing a game with me if anyone was interested in starting a podcast, and they were. Now we've done 110 episodes, and we've had designers and guest hosts from all over the gaming industry. We're going strong, so we release once a week. You can find us on iTunes. We're called The Good, The Bored, and The Ugly, and it's just a lot of fun to talk about games. So it keeps me from spending all of my time at game nights just talking about games. That way I get a chance to actually play them.
His interest in board games was sparked by him wanting a more sociable hobby than video games.
I originally always liked playing video games. So I went from like Call of Duty, and I played sports games and stuff when I was in college. I've played all different types of games, starting from like the Nintendo systems, and even before that to the Intellivision, up until current systems. Well, what was current about 5-10 years ago. I think I kind of got lost about the Wii. And I think instead of making that transition to like Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, I just decided to look into board games. And I think there was a YouTube video called The Best 10 Games of All Time. And I watched it and I was like, oh, cool, you know, like I'll hear stuff like Risk and Monopoly, you know, games that I knew. And when I watched the video, they named 10 games that I'd never heard of. So I was like, there's this whole world of board games that I've never even explored. That set me off on like over the last 3 years now, about 3.5 years since I watched that video, maybe 4. But over the last several years of my life, I've just been kind of on this quest to get to know that world more. I've found that it just like other things that you can do, other video games or other types of interests that you might have, you know, music, concerts, stuff like that, dancing, everything has just a lot of different things that you can find out about, a lot of different territory to explore. And so exploring that was kind of what led to me wanting to acquire a lot of games and start having game nights and participating in the Gamers Club here at the school and trying to do all I can to make board games more available to people who are interested in them.
Stalin's interest has had a major impact on his personal life and has even let him meet some new people. In fact, he met someone who was willing to feature his wife, Caroline Stalin, on a playing card.
Board games have almost become like my personal life. I know that a lot of people around me, that when they look at me, I look like I'm bored sometimes because I'd rather be playing a game than I would be just doing nothing. And so I wanted something that I could share with people. Board games are really good about that. They're all about the social interaction. Sure, you can play games all by yourself. You can play some solo games, but I think board games shine best when you've got a lot of people and you're having a great time just, you know, making friendships. So when we moved to the Boone area, there wasn't all that many people that we knew around here. And now, as a result of board games, I can count a bunch of friends that I couldn't have said anything about before. So, I mean, I've gotten to know quite a few people. It's really made my personal life, I think, something that I'm excited about. And I hope that sometimes, you know, that there are others that will also find that board games can really just make your social life a lot more fun and interesting.
This has been Devin Rush from BooneTV.
The boys' tennis team took to the court this past Tuesday, taking on the Norwalk Warriors.
With many varsity players returning, the Doors look to have another successful season. Here's BTV sports reporter Jason Mooey with the recap of the first meet of 2017.
On Tuesday, April 4th, the boys' tennis team started their season with a home opener against the Norwalk Warriors. The meet kicked off with the singles matches, where number 1 Andrew Troe won a tough-fought match with a score of 7-6 in both sets. On the other side of the fence, number 4 Caden Bergkamper cruised to an easy victory, sweeping his opponent. At the end of singles, the Tordoors won 4 matches, giving them a 4-2 lead heading into doubles. The number 1 doubles team of Andrew Troe and Caden Bergkamper took care of business on the court, winning their first set with a score of 6-4 and the second 6-3. Number 2 doubles team of Mason Hulse and Jackson Zier had similar results, winning their sets with a score of 6-4 and 6-3. The Tordoors would end up winning the rest of their doubles matches, giving them the victory over Norwalk with a score of 9-2. During the meet, I caught up with Coach Wells and a couple of key seniors to discuss their goals for the rest of the season.
One of our goals is to establish the personality of this team, the chemistry of this team, the strength of this team. Certainly we want to win a lot of matches, and we want to get somebody to state, and we want to continue the legacy that's Boone Tennis.
For the season, my personal goal is to stay above 500 in singles play.
I really hope to make it back to state this year and have fun with the guys.
The boys' tennis team will travel to Pella on Monday, April 10th for their next meet. This has been Jason Mooey from BooneTV.
The girls' soccer team is preparing for their home opener this Tuesday night.
Emma Toms has your preview on what to expect from this year's squad.
The girls' soccer team is getting ready for their season. The girls started practice the Monday after spring break and went up to Fort Dodge for a scrimmage. After 4 days of practice, Coach Mann only had good things to say.
I like the play of our younger girls. We got a lot of freshmen, a lot of newcomers this year, and I really like what they've brought to the team. We've done a lot better job, I think, just those first few scrimmages of possessing the ball, getting the ball, and making some easy plays, and that's something that we haven't really seen in the past. So we've done a really nice job of making the easier plays and the smarter plays so far.
Katie Swanson is a senior that is excited for this year in her position of center mid.
I definitely feel like we're going to improve a lot. From the scrimmage last Friday in Fort Dodge, we played more offensively than what we have in the past, so I feel like we'll be able to put more shots on goal this year.
Coach Mann is working hard with the girls before their first game.
We're working on just slowing the game down, not being in too big of a hurry. We have, like I said, a lot of new girls to the team, and they need to learn how to play the game a little more slow pace so that we can possess the ball a little bit more smarter soccer instead of forcing the ball so much.
Michaela Eppert is a senior who plays outside mid.
I'm really excited for a lot of the tournaments we have on the weekends. Those are always a lot of fun and great for team bonding.
The girls have their first home game on Tuesday, April 11th. This has been Emma Toms from BooneTV.
With remakes being a hot commodity, Disney decided to throw their entry in the ring with a remake of Beauty and the Beast.
With a special gender-swapped review of this week, here's Holly and Sydney with Two Gals.
You must leave here. This castle is alive.
What's up, Boone High? I'm Sydney.
And I'm Holly. And for today, we're Two Gals with our review of a classic tale.
This week, we went and saw Beauty and the Beast, a live-action remake of the old Disney film.
We're here to give you the highs and the lows of the movie, and whether it's a remake or a re-break.
Based off the 1991 animated film, Beauty and the Beast focuses on Belle, a young and pretty French woman. When stories of a monster living in a famed castle nearby turn out to be true, Belle accidentally ends up inside with the Beast himself. However, looks can be deceiving as Belle learns more about her captor, and a romance story as old as time develops. Beauty and the Beast is a great remake of the classic Disney tale, with a script close to the original and actors that portrayed the characters we knew and loved. Pros of Beauty and the Beast include the amazing chemistry between lead actors Emma Watson and Dan Stevens, the realistic animations portraying characters such as Mrs. Potts and Cogsworth, and the beautiful reinvention of the tale's famous castle. A few cons of the film were the lengthy backstory on Gaston, a failed attempt to create sympathy for the villain, also a new, more modern take on the classical songs, which failed in comparison to the original pieces. Overall, Beauty and the Beast was a fantastic film filled to the brim with high-quality acting and the same Disney magic as the original. We decided on giving it 9 Lumieres out of 10. And there's your review of Beauty and the Beast. We definitely recommend you to check out this amazing film. So we'll see you next time, and have a great day, Boone High.
John Norris has been on a bit of a break, finding out all the latest trends on what's hot and what's not, and he's back this week to deliver the news.
Here's John Norris with What's Trending.
Yo, what up, Boone High? It's your boy John Norris with another episode of What's Trending. This past Sunday, the Major League Baseball season kicked off, starting with the Chicago Cubs against their longtime rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals. Fans of these teams have despised the other for almost a century, and it doesn't look like the hatred will end anytime soon. This game was out of the park, as it was hotly contested and came down to the final inning, when the Cardinals pulled off the win. Well, at least the Cubs were able to watch their World Series hero, David Ross, in Dancing with the Stars.
We do. The things we do are just between me and you. Yeah. I take you to the candy shop.
The UConn's women's basketball team faced Mississippi State in the women's Final Four last Friday. UConn's incredible winning streak of 111 games was snapped right in half by Mississippi State with the buzzer beater in overtime.
William on the drive. Pull up, got it! She got it!
Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, a Mississippi State alum, was certainly hyped for this game.
One of the great upsets in history!
And now, here are 5 items trending in 10 seconds. North Carolina won the NCAA championship. The It remake is coming this fall. Kendrick Lamar released his new album Humble. I Don't Have a Clue was a successful Tory or theater production. And that Cristiano Ronaldo statue is really giving people nightmares. Well, that is it for this week, Spicy Boys. I am out.
Thank you for joining us for this week's news show. We'll be back next week with all the latest buzz at BHS.
In the meantime, please head over to BooneTV.com to check out the latest videos and written stories. While there, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And now, make sure that you stay safe,
stay cool,
and have a great day, Boone High.